Great. So, as most of you are on the network, time that we start with session 3 of our boot camp with the Pandas Notebook 3. Now, friends, the Pandas Notebook 3 is dedicated to understanding how grouping functions work, and for any kind of grouping operation in Python, there are three broad steps which happen. First, when you simply say to Python that you want to group data, internally, the group by command actually does three things. First, on the column on which you want to group, it will actually first perform a split of data according to that. Then it's going to apply some kind of processing which you wish to apply. Otherwise, why are we grouping? So if we want to, let's say, group data on the basis of their rankings or on the basis of their ratings or on the basis of their countries, then some kind of processing you're planning to apply. So please apply the processing. And after applying the processing, you are combining the data back so that you can print or present it to the user. So grouping will have three steps broadly: split, apply, and combine. Let us look at a simple schematic diagram. So when you say that you want to apply a group by function to a data frame, you will always need to specify at least one column, more than one possible, but at least one column you need to specify on the basis of which you want to group by. So what the group by function first does is it will take that column of yours and will split the data frame. You cannot see this. This is all happening internally. It will split the data frame into small data frames, each containing data of that respective group type. Example, suppose if I say the wine reviews data frame should be grouped by country, then all the wines belonging to the country US will come here, all wines belonging to country Portugal will come here, so on and so forth. So small data frames have got created country wise. Then, why are we trying to use the group by function? Because you want to apply some kind of processing. So step 2 is whatever you wish to apply as your processing function. A good example would be, let's say I want to know what is the average price of the wines country wise. So if you do group by country, you will get many data frames. So the first data frame having all wines from US, second having all wines from Portugal, third having all wines, let's say, from Romania, so on and so forth. If you say that you want to apply and you want to find the mean price, you'll just say function called mean. When you apply the mean function, it is not going to apply over the whole data frame. No, whole data frame is no longer there. आपका पूरा data frame तो है ही नहीं, वो तो split हो चुका है into smaller data frames already. So जो first data frame यहाँ है df1, उसके ऊपर mean apply होगा and you will be getting the mean price of the wine or the average price of the wine in the country called US. Then the average price of the wines for the country called Portugal. So like this, you have got average price of wines in US, average price of wines in Portugal. You got one value for each data frame. Now, whatever one value you have got for each data frame, don't you think that logically we should combine them? Yes, we should. Then that's what we have done. So you're combining all the individual values. So once I apply the processing over the first data frame, my friends, I have got the average price of wine of US, average price of wine for Portugal, average price of wine, let's say, for Austria, so on and so forth. So these things should be combined into a new data frame or into a new series, whatever, whichever data. If there is more than one data frame. There is only one column, series. Simple. So these are the three broad steps. By heart with me. Split, apply, and combine, which we will always work with when we are working with the group by function. Now, in this notebook, for a change, we will not be working over the wine reviews. We will be working over a different data set called HR employee attrition and performance. So, of course, from this data set, I'm going to also give you some questions as homework so that you are also applying your mind post the boot camp to personally spend time and solve them. So, first thing goes first, friends. Request to all of you to please upload the data, but from where you will download the data. Please note that there is a drive link that is given to you. So first download the HR employee attrition.csv file from this drive link and then upload it to your Colab. Once uploading starts, simply say on the chat, upload started. Then I will proceed further with the explanation of the next cells. Okay, I'm holding on. Any confusion? Please ask me. Yeah, Sachif, so what I have said is, I'll repeat once again. This is a third notebook. Sachif, I hope you have this third notebook with you. For this, you need to go to data science page and open up the third notebook, right? Now, the third notebook, we are not working with a wine reviews data set. Instead, we are working with a different data set for a change called HR employee attrition. So you would notice that I have given a drive link here. Download this data set on your computer and upload it by running this piece of code the way you did in the previous two notebooks. So upload now the HR employee attrition dataset. So once uploading starts, say upload started on the chat. I'm waiting. Right. So friends, I hope for majority people upload had started and for some upload is also completed. Very nice. Now I think both of us can go and flow. We have a target of completing this notebook by 1:30, at the most 1:35. We can't exceed even a minute more than that. Okay, so let's all gear up. So I'm doing a read CSV to read my file called HR employee attrition.csv. A quick question. In this file which I've just now read, in this CSV file which I've just now read, am I using default indexing or am I electing the column employee number as my index? Am I using default indexing like 0, 1, 2, 3, or am I electing employee number? Perfect. We are selecting or electing the employee number to be our index. Excellent. Sanket has given a very appropriate word, explicit indexing. Very good, Sanket. Great. So head shows me first 5 records as you could see here. Now we have to answer a few simple questions on the above data set. Who is going to volunteer? Who will volunteer to come forward to read at least the first 3 questions from this? Sachiv Manga says, I would. Okay, Sachiv Manga, over to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So the first question is how many employees are there by department in the data?
okay.
And the second one is the what is the overall attrition rate? And the third one is who are the five employees with the most number of years at the company?
Perfect. So, Sachiv, I believe that the questions are self-explanatory. I don't think so. I need to further
Yes.
explain the question.
Yeah, sir. In first question we have to
Mhm.
uh, about to that how many employees are there in the department.
That means you will do
In each
group.
department there is how many employees.
Okay. So, are you trying to say we will
And
do group by department here?
yes, I think so.
Yes, yes. You're correct. We will do group by department here and then take the count of the employees
Yeah.
in each department. Very good. What is
Yes, sir.
this meaning?
So overall attrition, sir, I do not know about this.
Okay. By the way, attrition means how many people want to leave the company. Attrition word
Okay.
का मतलब how many people are going to leave the company. Okay. We will
Okay.
discuss about how to solve this when we come to the respective problem. Okay. What is this meaning? The third question means.
Who are the that is there is it means that experienced people that the
Hmm.
employees with the higher
Correct.
experience, five employees,
Correct. Correct. You're
oldest, I think,
correct. Oldest thing. Yeah, absolutely. You're
yeah,
finding the oldest employee not in terms of age but in terms of experience. Correct.
experience.
Correct. Very nice. Very nice. Good. Good. Right. So, friends, now coming into problem solving. So let's look at the very first question. How many employees are there department wise in the data set? This can be super easy to solve by using the ready-made function called value underscore counts. What I have done, I've taken my data frame, only one column called department, and then what I have done is value counts over it. That's it. When I do value counts over it, I come to know that in the research and development R&D department, 961 people are working. In sales department, 446. HR, 63 people are working. So on and so forth. Come on. I want everyone to get to work. If there is any code missing, Pooja, Dilna, Mansi, you have to prompt me. Okay. So the code is there. Great. So please run your cell and see whether you're getting a similar output or not. Okay, so Anjan says done. Sanket says done. Waiting for others. Okay, so it seems majority people have executed their first problem. Let us move to the second. The second question, what my friend read about a minute back, is what is the overall attrition rate? Now, friends, to be very honest, the data set of HR employees which is given to us, it already has a column called attrition. And the value of the attrition can either be 0 or 1. 0 means he doesn't want to leave the company. 1 means he wants to leave. So I mentioned here, build your final logic in steps. So see how I'm executing my code. Please see very carefully how I'm executing my code. I'm commenting all the steps and just keeping the first step. I do a value counts over attrition. The attrition column, which is already existing in the data set, if you still like confused on it, Let me show you the data set once again. See, there is a column called attrition. So I have the age of the employee. I have this prior information called attrition, meaning to say, if given a better opportunity, this employee with the employee code 1 would probably leave the company. And no means that the employee 2 says no. He doesn't want to leave the current company, he's happy. Cool. You also have other information about the employees, that do they travel frequently for business? What's their daily rate? Okay. So in terms of 1102, okay. So don't worry about the daily rate column. What department they work for, sales or R&D, how far away do they stay from office, distance from home. So 1 means 1 mile, 8 means 8 miles. What is their education? Education field. Employee count is a useless column, it just indicates 1 for everyone, so nothing to worry about it. So on and so forth. I've got so much other information. Okay, this information seems to be important. How long have you worked at the given company? So years at company 6 means you worked for 6 years in that same respective company. Total work experience could be 10 years, but the current working company you're working for is 6 years, so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the kind of information you have. So under the attrition column, you have two values, yes and no. So the question is, we need to find what is the overall attrition rate. Friends, rate is always in percentage. So obviously you cannot give me this thing as an answer and tell Rocky ji ye answer hai. There are 1233 people who say no, they are happy with the current company, and 237 people say they want to leave the current company. ये attrition rate नहीं होता दोस्त. Attrition rate is something different. First of all, anything which you say in the terms of the word called rate, it has to be technically and principally it has to be in percentages. So simply using value counts will not help us. So there is an option with value counts which you can give an additional parameter called normalize equal to true. So what Sachin is prompting to me on the chat, we need to divide yes count with the total. Exactly, you're right. But we haven't to really divide because that work is being done by putting an option as normalize equal to true. See this. So when I say normalize equal to true, automatically my no and yes both got divided by the total number of employees. So we get 83.8% people are happy with the company. 16% people want to leave the company or are probable to leave the company if given some other opportunity. Again, from this, the attrition rate for me is 16%. So I have to report to my HR manager 16%. Otherwise, she would fire me. She said, you are working as data analyst, you should be able to give me the answer to the question I have asked you. I'll say, yes, ma'am, I have to. So, what should be a next step? So, please notice this entire code, जो मैंने यहाँ लिखा है, I have simply copied the entire code here. See this. This much part of the code gave me two outputs, something for no and something for yes. Which do you want to pick? I want to pick yes. Great. So you pick up yes. I'm picking up yes and I'm bringing it to a column called attrition rate. So it will be 0.16. So you want to report as 0.16? I don't think so. You want to report it in percentages, right? So let's report the answer in percentage, 16.12. Still, if you feel that, oh my god, this is so clumsy, you should round it. Yes, you're definitely welcome to apply np.round function, but not now. Right now, our objective was to get the answer. We've got the answer as 16.12%. Okay. Now, I'm punching this much part of the code. Maybe some part is there, some part is not there, whatever. Please finish up executing the code the way I have done in the next 1 to 2 minutes. Okay. I'm holding. Please take 1 to 2 minutes एंड आराम से अपना कोड एग्जीक्यूट कीजिए. Okay, that's a majority people who say that they have finished. Okay, Sachiv has a question. Normalize normalize is not a function. Normalize is an parameter, extra parameter as an option which can be given to the function value counts. So if you give normalize equal to true, it will divide it by the total. Great. Now I'm coming on to the next question, where who are the 5 employees with the most number of years at the company? Again, we will build this logic by going in simple steps. So if I look at the first option, I am basically going to my data frame. I can select n number of columns, but I'm selecting only one column because I want to sort over it. So I'm selecting a column years of the company and I'm doing the work of sorting. Friends, by default, please remember, sorting happens in ascending order, where ascending means you're going to go from least to highest. Therefore, if I want to sort values, I need to give an option called ascending equal to false if I want it in descending order. If you don't give anything, it's ascending order. If you give ascending equal to false, that means you don't want ascending order. So naturally, it will be descending order. So when I run this piece of code, I see my output coming in descending order, where the employee code 165, employee number 165 has served your company for 40 long years. Employee number 131 has served your company for 37 long years, so on and so forth. Therefore, you will feel that, oh, this is my answer. No, this is not still your answer. Your answer was who are the 5 employees with the most number of years. That means you want the 5 oldest employees in terms of experience. So in this case, you should be using your previous notebook knowledge. Good example for slicing. So I'm slicing where I'm not giving anything at the start. I've just given the end index as 5. That means I want the first 5 outputs from the descending list. I want the first 5. This should be the first 5. So I want the first 5 outputs from a descending list. Let's see. Wow, I get it. 165 is 40, 131 is 37, so on and so forth. That's right. Okay, so we're doing slicing to get the first 5 records. Okay, so I want once again all of you to execute a logic in steps. Please let me know is this code there or not. Sashipal, the question to your answer is yes. You can select n number of columns from a data frame. Why only 2? You can have multiple columns selected. Just specify the column names in a list. Okay. So code is there, friends. Please take handful 2 minutes and execute your code. If it is done, prompt me done on the chat. Okay, so I see majority people mentioning that they have finished with the problems. Fantastic. Okay, right now we're moving on to our next question. So Sachin has a question. If two employees have same numbers of experience, then will it pick up the first one? Yeah, so it will go in the sequence of what it is coming in the descending order. So as you see in the descending order, it is just going to slice is just going to pick up the first five that way. Just as an example, suppose you do a slicing of only two records. You do a slicing of only the first two records, Sachin, and your output is like this. So the employee A for 40 years, B also 40 years, C also 40 years. Because those records, or maybe this way, this is let's say A1, this is let's say B4, and this is C5. So all these three employees are 40 years, but their records were coming in this kind of sequence in the original data set. Therefore, they were reported like this in the descending order. So in the descending order, if C5 was coming earlier in the data set, then C5 will be coming first in the output also. Now out of this, you are slicing only two. So it will only pick up C5 and A1. It will skip B4. So it totally depends, Sachin, of how the records are coming in the original data set. Yeah, Mansi, you have a doubt? Over to you, Mansi.
Yes, sir. So I have a one doubt. Right now, when we got the output over here, that is the employee number, and then we have a count. So if I want to give the name of this column, name to the
Mm-hmm.
count,
Mm-hmm. So
that
you
is
you
years
so
of,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you want the name in the
uh,
columns, that is years of the company.
yes,
This thing is itself
yes,
the
sir.
name of the column only, which is coming at the bottom. So when you have only one particular column, it is always going to come at the bottom.
Oh,
Name is already there. But if you had two columns
okay, sir.
in the
Okay,
output,
sir.
then they would come as two separate columns.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Right.
okay,
Right.
okay,
You are going to come to the situation. You're going to come to the situation very quickly. Don't worry. You're going to come to
okay,
those
sir.
cases also.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So moving further, friends, on to the next question of how satisfied are employees. But to be very honest, anybody will think, अरे यार इसमें क्या find करना है? We already have job satisfaction column. So what is there to find? See, read the question once again. Huh? Question is how satisfied are employees overall? It's a very generic question which your HR manager probably could ask you, but it's not so easy to solve. Please trust me. So what we are doing first is just to be coming out of my inquisitiveness, my curiosity made me first do this very basic work to find what is the kind of values stored in job satisfaction. So I realized that there are people who have marked the job satisfaction column value as 4, 3, 1, or 2. So there are 459 people who have marked their job satisfaction value as 4. That means they are very satisfied with their current job. There are 289 people who have marked their job satisfaction value as 1, meaning they are not satisfied at all with their current job. And if given a chance, they will hop, skip, and jump onto the next job. Okay. Now, what I can understand is the job satisfaction column values are numeric 4, 3, 1, 2. Can I map it? I repeat, can I map it? Can I change it or replace it to some categorical data? Of course, why not? Makes sense also. So for doing that, what I'm doing is I'm creating a job satisfaction underscore cat. I'm just creating a dictionary where in this dictionary, one indicates no, two indicates medium, so on and so forth. Now, simply making a dictionary is of no use, isn't it? This dictionary has to be applied over the I repeat my word, this dictionary has to be applied in some way or the other over the job satisfaction column. Here map comes in picture. So what we're doing is, we are, from our data frame data, we are picking up only one column called job satisfaction. Remember, when you pick up one column from a data frame, it is always picked up as a series. When you pick up one column, remember this is a rule. When you pick up when you pick up one column from a data frame, it's always a series. So there's one column, no? So it can't be data frame anymore. If you pick up two columns, it's a data frame. It's a sub data frame of a main data frame. But if you pick up only one column, it's definitely a series. And over a series, what we just learned some time back, map function is applicable, isn't it? So over that series called job satisfaction, you are applying the map, and to the map you have to do nothing. Do nothing, just give the dictionary. Khatam. That's it. Map will start mapping every one to a value low, every four to a value very high, so on and so forth. Due to which I can notice, if I run this code, remember, don't run this code twice, run this code only once. I forgot to run my previous cell, I'm sorry. Now I'll run this cell because I got a name error. No, it says job satisfaction underscore cat not defined. That means I forgot to run the previous cell. Please don't run this cell twice. अरे रॉकी जी ऐसा क्यों कह रहे हैं? इसके लिए कह रहा हूं, एक बार आपने जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन को मैप कर दिया और वापस से जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन कॉलम में ही स्टोर किया, इसका मतलब क्या? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन कॉलम में we don't have any more of 1 2 3 4s. All of that 1 2 3 4s has got converted into low, medium, high and very high. So second mapping, if you run this cell by mistake also once, your data will get corrupted. Everything will become NaN, and then you need to rerun all the cells from the start. From the start means from the HR attrition data set. Okay? So I want everyone to reach to this point of transform this encodings into meaningful labels. Please reach to this point peacefully. Please take 1 to 2 minutes and reach to this point peacefully. Yes, Sachin, definitely yes. Naturally, you can always add a new column. Great. So I see a majority who says that it is done. Now, who can come forward to explain me the logic of this particular code, one line code which I mentioned here? Come on, it's very simple. Who can come forward will please take permission immediately over the chat. Will take Please take permissions immediately over the chat. Okay, Deepak says he wants to come in. Yeah, Deepak, over to you.
Hello? Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi, Deepak. Yes.
We have taken the count of job satisfaction in the earlier section.
Mm-hmm.
So we are normalizing the data and putting it, multiplying it with 100 so that the data gives us a percentage.
Absolutely. So normalize equal to true means that you're dividing it by total, no?
Correct.
Okay, so instead of getting the answer as 0.31, we multiplied by 100 so that we get the answer at 31.2%.
Correct. Correct.
Perfect, perfect. That's right. Thank you. Right,
Yes.
so friends, everyone will please run the cell. First check whether the cell code is there or not. Very great, Mansi. So friends, Mansi and Delna have reported that it's there. So obviously, I'm sure you can go to your notebook and run the cell. Okay, so who from your side would be willing to come ahead to read this particular question? I just want you to read the question, and probably if you can tell me why have I given this hint of using the group by clause, I'll be very happy. Who would like to come forward? Please, many can. Who wishes to come forward? Say I will on the chat. Sukantu, you have taken your turn, so I want, you know, Deepak also has taken his turn. So I want new people to come ahead. Somebody else who has not taken the turn as of till now. Come on, who's going to come forward? Devashish says he wants to try. Devashish, over to you.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Yes.
it will take the value of the job satisfaction that is low, that is the value of low, and that is the value of high, and it will count the value.
Okay, first, can you please read this as it is? Can you please read this?
Yes, sir. Compare the employee with the low and the high job satisfaction across the following variable: age, distance from home, monthly income, and year at company. Then you would need to use group by clause.
Yeah, I want to know that from you. Why are we planning to use a group by clause? And on what column do you think we should be using the group by clause?
So is a job satisfaction.
Absolutely, very good. So uh, that's right, Devashish. So we will be using, friends, the group by clause over the job satisfaction. And once we do the grouping, then my open
And
question.
we should
Yeah,
include
Devashish,
the
mute.
age.
Devashish, mute yourself. Mute yourself. I'm carrying on. Don't worry. Right. So once we group by people on job satisfaction, friends, we would actually get four groups, not two. We are going to get four groups because there are four job satisfaction levels. There is low, there is medium, there is high, and there is very high. Now, obviously, I'm sure something has come to your mind. If there are four groups getting formed, you would filter out two and only keep two of the other groups. Or other way around, what you could do is before you take a group by, why don't we filter out the records? How to do that? Very simple. From my overall data set data, I'm locating those records which are having notebook 2, notebook 1's knowledge coming up. We are locating those records which are having the job satisfaction as low or the job satisfaction as very high. So what we're doing is we are actually locating those records from the main data set which are having low job satisfaction or high. So obviously both will get selected, a new data set or a new data frame is getting formed called subset of interest. I've done a value counts over it which gives me this answer. A subset of interest is the new data frame which has 459 very high and 289 low values. That means it has 459 employees with very high job satisfaction, and 289 employees with low job satisfaction. Please stick around on this. Don't execute. Look into my notebook very carefully the next time. Friends, now when I do a group by, what happens is group by will create obviously two grouped objects. One grouped object will be called as low, second group object will be called as high. So the return value of the group by clause is two grouped objects which has come in the variable called grouped. To print the groups, you have to use an attribute called dot groups. So you will be wondering what is this clumsy output looking like. Yes, this clumsy output is indicating you that in the group called low, these are the indexes of the employees. These are the employee numbers who belong to job satisfaction low. This is a second group called very high, where this is the employees who belong to the group called very high. Moving one small tiny step further. Now because you've got the group data, now if you really want to see the records of any particular group, then you have to use a function called get group. So get group low is fetching the data of the group called low, and doing a head to will print obviously the first two records. So once I do so, as you can see on the running on my screen, you can very clearly see that who is this employee number 10 and who is this employee number 20. So employee number 10, so and so information, 20, so and so information. By the way, the name is any which way sealed from us, so we cannot come to know the employee's name any which ways. Till this point, I hope things are going clear. I want everyone to check the codes and run the codes up till this point. Get group low, head to. Please take 1 to 2 minutes peacefully and run the code up till this point. Great. So I can see a majority. They have reached up till this point and they're going fantastic. Very good, very good. I know you're feeling tired also. I know that. But don't worry. Now, according to the question which was asked to us, we were asked that we are supposed to compare different attributes between the group low and the group high. So see how beautifully you can do this by writing just one line. I have not taken my data frame. I have taken my grouped object. Please look on my screen very carefully. This is my grouped object. The return value of the group by clause on a particular column is your grouped object. So this grouped object has been taken, and I am coming over here and I'm writing grouped by age dot mean. Grouped by age mean. So what I'm doing is, so like both of us know very well that under the grouped data we are having two groups, low and high. So when you say age dot mean, remember it's not going to mix the ages. It's going to take the mean age of the of all people who belong to the group low, and then it's going to take the mean age of all people who belong to the group high. I remember in the group low there were about 249 people. So when you say 36.91, you mean to say 36.9 is actually the average age of those 249 people who belong to group low. 36.7 is the average age of those 459 people who belong to the group very high. So obviously in this way I can compare that the ages is not a age is not a factor of people feeling dissatisfied or satisfied on job. That's definite because this data set indicates that people in low job satisfaction and high job satisfaction both have similar age value. It's not so that people in low job satisfaction are in their late 40s and people in very high are in their early 30s. ऐसा नहीं है. Okay. Now, instead of we doing this one by one with respect to every column, why can't we make a list of columns? Why can't we make a list of columns? Yes, we can. And once you make a list of columns, oh, it's super easy then. Once you make a list of columns, we can straight away go ahead and take a mean over it. Notice how the answer comes. This shows me job satisfaction with low, it's so and so age value. Distance from home, so and so. Monthly income, so and so. Years at company, so and so. Okay. Now I want all of you to check, is all this code given? And if yes, please run up to this point. Very well. Right, friends. So that's going fantastic. Now I've given an extra homework, but I wish to first check with all of you, is this homework given? This is an extra part I have already mentioned here. It's an extra code, not a part of the question asked. So this is the homework which I have given. So I wish to ask Mansi, Pooja MB and Dilna, anyone please respond. Is this group by with aggregate function code given or not? Okay, it's there. Fantastic. So that's an extra homework which I've not used the word homework. It's an optional part. If you wish to do it, you're welcome, but please do it. Right, question time on the wine data set. Friends, we don't have 20 minutes to solve them. Trust me, we have lesser time to solve. Okay, so we will do as fast as possible because we need minimum 25-30 minutes break for our lunch, isn't it? We need minimum 25 minutes break for our lunch. So question time on the wine data set. Let me go on discussing the problems. Please keep data set for uploading. Please keep the data set for uploading. Okay, I hope everybody has kept the data set for uploading. I'm not wanting even any acknowledgement also. I think I can move further. Okay, so let me go on discussing with respect to every question and what is its expectation, and then accordingly I will give you the answers, and then when your data set is uploaded you can run all your cells in one go. Okay, right. So I would request Usha Kiran, if it's possible for you, please read the first question so we come to know what is the expectation. Usha Kiran, over to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Who are the most common wine reviewers in the dataset? Create a series whose index is the taster Twitter handle feature from the dataset and whose values count how many reviews each person wrote.
Like forgetting all these technical words, Usha Kiran, what do you feel you are able to get out of it? क्या करना है आपके हिसाब से इसमें?
We need to find the most common wine reviewers from the dataset
Correct.
and how many reviews, count of how many reviews each person has written.
Absolutely. Fantastic. And I don't think so I can explain better than this. Very good. So, as my friend very correctly explained, that we will, we need to basically get this kind of an output. Look at a sample output. So, we are trying to indicate the taster is the one who came to review our wine, Twitter handle, and how many reviews has he done or he written. So this person called Wash Roger has written 5904 reviews till date, which is a very big number. So how to do it? It's simple. Always understand that whenever you are coming across some primary key or some key on which records can be grouped together, not primary key, I'm sorry, some value on which records can be grouped together, on which groupism can happen. Example, department-wise groupism can happen. You see, you can't group people on salary. I'm just taking an example because salary for everyone will be different. But you can group people on department because you know in each department there are some certain set of people. So here we are doing group by taster Twitter handle so that we come to know all those reviews which are written by a particular reviewer called Wash Roger. So 5,904 records will come in one group. Then 3583 records will go in another group. Then what we are doing is, after grouping by, we are taking the same column and counting over it. So when we count over it, naturally we have got now the value of the column on which grouping happened and the count of it. I'm just showing it in ascending false, that means in descending order. That's it, right? So I believe this code would be probably missing. I don't know. Please check. Is this code there or not there? Missing. Perfect. So here comes the code. Please don't worry. कि मेरा डेटा अभी भी अपलोड हो रहा है, मेरा नहीं कर पाऊंगा. Don't worry about these things. That's okay. Just copy paste the code in the right place. Moment the data is got uploaded, it will take a fraction of a second to run the cell. Okay. So I hope everybody would have copy pasted the cell in the right place, and some of you would have also ran. Okay, how many of them ran the question number 1 and got the answers? Okay, it seems for majority data is getting still uploaded. No problem. Anyway, let's consider now the second question. Second question is something which I will not explain because something very similar has been done by you but in a different way in the previous example without using the group by clause. So I would leave this question for you to self-analyze. I just want to know from all of you right now, is this comment part which explains create a series and all this blah blah, is this written? Is this help hint written in your notebook? Yeah, class, I'm not getting a response from your side. Can you please respond?
Sir, please scroll the chat box.
Oh, oops. Okay, okay. Okay. So it is being done for most of them. Okay. So this chat is there. Then what about the code for the second one? Is it there or it's not there? Code not there. Fine. Great. So I would give the code to you, but I'm not going to explain the code to you. The reason is that if I explain this code also, then I don't think so. Then there is going to be any application of mind from your side of comparing the previous code with this code. You will not use any mind. Okay. Just ensure that the code is running. Please copy paste the code from here into your cell and see if it is running. Understanding the question number code 2 is your responsibility, and I'm sure you can. Okay. So in the next 1 minute, I would request in the next 1 minute, one of you to please come ahead and take the lead to read the question number 3. Please take the lead to read the question number 3. So who would come forward to do so? Who would come forward to do so?
So may I?
Yeah, please, please.
Yes. So create a series whose index is reviewers and whose value is the average given out by the receiver. Reviewer. Hint. You will need the taster underscore name and points column.
Okay. So what do you think? What's your good name once again, please?
Part, sir.
Part, yeah. So Part, I would like to know from you, wine reviews dot group by when we are doing it over taster name. That means we are basically reviewing. So we are basically grouping people according to their names. Do you agree?
By grouping the tasters according to the name, sir.
Okay, but we are grouping the people according to the column called taster name. So this taster called Alexander Pierre Tree would have come for n number of times. Anna Lee would have come for n number of times, so on and so forth. So different groups are being formed. Now, when you say that from this group already got formed, you are doing dot points. What does dot points means here? You're picking up all the columns or only one column called points?
One column
Correct. And then what you're doing?
dot mean and the bracket.
Correct. So dot mean will actually find the average and dump our answer into reviewer mean rating. So are we, so what do you understand by this output? Parth, what do you understand by this output? Alexander has
Yeah.
got 85.82. What do you understand by this?
Yes, sir. That means reviewer underscore mean underscore ratings. Okay. So that means the reviewer is gotten the I don't know how to say. Well, the amount of ratings he's done, it's come as the
Correct.
username, then the amount of yeah
Very
amount
nice.
of
Very
rat-
nice part. What you're
ratings.
saying is absolutely correct part that Alexander has done whatever points he has given to the wines which he has rated. The average points which he has given is 85.82. Very correct part.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, how
Thank
old
you.
are you, Parth? You mentioned how old are you?
Sir, I'm 11 years old.
Yeah, 11 years old. So which standard? Fifth standard or sixth standard? Which is that?
I'm in British curriculum, so I'm going to go to 7th, but you can say 7th.
You can say seventh. Okay, fantastic. Very good.
Thank
Right.
you.
Yep. So, friends, I hope you have understood this part of the code which our friend Path explained right now. So I punched the code over the chat. Please try running it, everyone. Okay. So Pooja MV, I have a small question for you. Can you please find out is the entire comment part of question number 4 given?
So comments are given. Line number 14, 17, and 19 has to be typed.
Okay. No, nothing has to be typed because this is a homework. So I would be giving
Okay.
the comments explain things very deeply. So it is super easy to understand the use of size function here. I want everyone to please first run the output. So instead of asking the code, I'll do reverse here. You all will run the code and one of you will come ahead to explain me what the output indicates to you. Here I will not explain the code and assume that you've understood the output. I'll do reverse. I want you to explain me the output. So who plans to come ahead? But do that after running your code. Please take 2 minutes. Absolutely, Sagar. I'm very happy. Please come. Come over. Yeah, Sagar, over to you.
Hello.
Yes, Sagar. Yes, Sagar, please over to you. Please explain.
Counts of variety of wines by. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, very clear, very clear. Please go on.
Yeah. So what we are doing over here is we are finding out the variety of wines by country wise. So if we
Okay.
see the first row for US, there is a variety. The first one where the count is 219. Accordingly, country-wise, we are getting different variety of wines and
Absolutely.
their respective count.
Absolutely. Perfect. Perfect. Great. Great. Mute yourself. There's a lot of background noise coming, Sagar. Okay. So very correctly said by Sagar here that first, so we are grouping now by 2 columns, first of all. That is the first thing which you should realize. We are grouping by 2 columns, and when we're grouping by 2 columns, we are so the group is going to get first formed in the country. So when you group by on 2 columns, the first column becomes the primary grouping element, and the second column becomes a secondary grouping element. So the first grouping happens on the country US, and inside the country US, there are 3 varieties. So there will be a group formed for Pinot Noir, there's a group going to be formed for Cabernet, and there's a group going to be formed for Chardonnay. So there are going to be groups formed for A, and then for B, and then for C. Under the group A, or say the short form group called PN, there are 2191 entries. You cannot find this by using the count function. Why? Don't ask me this. I've given in the comment, so I want you to read the comment. So you need to use a different function called size when you're doing group by on multiple columns. In fact, whenever you do group by function, you're not supposed to use count on multiple columns. You're supposed to use size function. Research on it. Why? If you still feel that comments is insufficient, please research on it. Or might as well you can remove size and you can put count. See what answer you get. Okay, that itself is going to self-explain. Right. So friends, how many of you could run this code and get the output? Please report to me on the chat. How many of you could run this run this code and get the output? Wow. That's a majority people who say that they have got the output. Fantastic. You're all on a trekking journey with me, friends. हम सब trekking कर रहे हैं. We have finished 75% of the mountain. 25% more to go. But to climb the rest 25% of the mountain, we need food. We need energy. Okay? So we are going to go for a break. Listen to me carefully. This is 1:41 right now. Okay? We have a break of 29 minutes. We are all going to meet back sharp at 2:10 p.m. So 2:10 p.m. we meet back, friends. Let's meet back at 2:10 p.m. Okay? Right.